So we've mentioned that Vajrakila can be looked upon as a bridge between the Nyingma and the Sarma. So what does this actually mean? Well, actually, Vajrakila early on we know is a Nyingma practice, and we know it was the main family practice. It was the main meditational deity of the Kun family, the founders of the Sakya tradition, and early on, once in the 12th century, 12th early 13th century, the Kun family, who were also being recognized as the holder of this sort of Sakya tradition, which was a kind of a grab bag of many different traditions coming from Nepal and India. Traditions such as the Hevajra, Guhya Samaja, Vajrayogini of Naropa, etc. But they were criticized very heavily by some teachers from central Tibet who said that, they're not proper Buddhists because they claim to be Sarma and this new Sakya tradition, but they're following this mistaken Buddhism of Nyingma. They're following these non-Buddhist meditational practices such as Vajrakila. So this was an issue in the 12th, early 13th century. So, but they maintained that they had their own family lineages and traditions coming down from Padmasambhava. But later on, the Kagyu traditions, because Kagyu broke up from being one main tradition under Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, then it broke up into many traditions after that. And over time, most of the Kagyu traditions took up the practice of Vajrakila in one form or another. So then you have the Nyingma, you have the Sakya, and then you have the Kagyus, the different Kagyu factions, all embracing and practicing the Vajrakila. And then you can even find different Terma traditions appearing in the different Kagyu traditions, different Kagyu lineages, coming up with their own Terma traditions for Vajrakila. Aside from the Nyingmas carrying on their revealed treasure Terma traditions and coming up with new forms of Vajrakila. New forms here means new liturgies, new mandala configurations, new special protector deities that go with the practice, different emphasis, generation stage, perfection stage, or Dzogchen or Ati Yoga. So you have differences appearing. Now, the Gelugpa never took up the Vajrakila. For the Gelugpa, these Nyingma practices were always at arm's length. Now, also for Sakya, is a specific and albeit a kind of a small tradition, but it has many other traditions around it, a network. It's kind of a Tsang matrix, a Tsang province of a slightly western Tibet. It's a kind of a matrix, and that matrix is composed of Sakya itself, the Ngor tradition, the Tsar, the Dzongpa tradition, Jonang, Bodong, and Buluk. So all of these other traditions, for the most part, didn't take up the Vajrakila in the same way that the Sakyas did, and the Kagyu traditions and the Nyingma revealed treasure traditions. These other related Tsang matrix Sakya traditions, they really kept more to the original Sarma traditions, Sarma tantric practices of Hevajra, Guhya Samaja, Chakra Samvara, Vajra Bhairava, Kala Chakra. That was the main focus. But back to the notion of a bridge. This Vajrakila became a bridge where you do have different Sarma groups within Sakya and the Tsang matrix of schools, and the different Kagyu schools where they do have this bridge that brings them closer to the old traditions, the Nyingma tradition, and the original 8 Heruka Kagye, 8 pronouncement practices. So in this way, Vajrakila to this day remains a bridge because it is the most popular practice of the 8 pronouncement deities, of the 8 main Nyingma Herukas. Vajrakila is really the dominant practice. It is dominant in art, it's dominant in literature.